So we'll take an example of a simple e-commerce company. So business of this company is that the company has a website, e-commerce website, and it's selling products and goods on that e-commerce website. So very simple business. They have a website. People come there and buy their product, make the payment, and that's how the business is making money, or they're procuring the product, adding some margin, and then selling them on your e-commerce website. That is a business, and we'll take this example throughout the next four stages that we will understand. So the first stage is descriptive analytics. Usually it is looking at past or historical data. So you will be analyzing some historical data, and you will be trying to answer the question what has happened, which is basically you're trying to get from data into information, or you're trying to make some sense out of the data that you are analyzing. That is what the first stage is. And if you notice on the left, there is value on the one axis, and on the bottom, there is difficulty and the complexity on the other axis. So descriptive analytics on the value and the difficulty complexity continuum, it is the least value and the least difficult, or the easiest one out of the four to be able to crack. Also keep in mind the value and the difficulty as we move along. Okay, so now you're looking at that e-commerce company that we talked about, which is into selling goods on their website. You're working for that company, and the company wants to understand how their sales have been performing, and you get the last 12 months data. So you get the data for the last 12 months. Let's assume the calendar month, January to December, and you see this chart, or you get the raw data, and based on the data you create some and I mean you do some analysis, and you come up with this chart, which is a line chart which shows the sales data from January to December. So if I have to ask you one or two insights or one or two things that you observe from this chart, what are those two things that you have observed? So it's a sales data from January to December, and you can see the revenue numbers in the different months from January to December. Okay, so Dinesh says April sales has reduced. So that is one observation. What else? Okay, sales is not stagnant, it is going up and down. Okay, significant increase in October to December, maybe because of the festivals and Black Friday and New Year and all of that. So significant increase happens in November to December. Okay, so basically it's a seasonal business. So there are ups and downs, and the lowest point is in April and the highest point is in December. Okay, so these are some of the takeaways that you can see from this data. So what are you doing right now? If you have taken the data set and if you've created a chart and you're trying to understand what has happened historically, so you're not talking about the future already. Okay, you're just talking about the historical data right now. All of this, what you're doing right now, what we have done in the last 1 minute is descriptive analytics. We are trying to understand what has happened in the past. We have not yet tried to understand why the April data is low or why the sales is high in December. All of that we have not yet touched. Okay, we'll just try to understand what has happened in the past. Okay, so this is what the descriptive analytics is. Okay, so let's now try to get into one step further, or we go to the second step. Okay, so now somebody mentioned, right, April sales is the lowest. You want to understand that why April sales is the lowest. So this is where the descriptive analytics will end.